Hi, I'm Brenda Quintana coming to you from the Beehive. It's Minute Monday time again, and today I'm going to show you how to make some cute note cards using the Merry Mice stamp set, and it has all these cute little mice in it, and the Confetti embossing folder, and we will be using this for the background. These little cards are super easy to make, and you can make 3 different cards using this pattern. This is the first one, and I'll show you how to make this one from start to finish. And here are 2 other ones that you can make using the same stamp set. Then stay tuned for Wednesday's tutorial when I'll show you how to make a matching note card holder to house all your note cards in. So let's get started. You are going to need your Big Shot, and I've got my platform and cutting plates here. For this one, you're not going to need the top part of your platform, so you can set that aside. You're just going to need your base, and you're going to need 1 cutting pad on the bottom. Then you're going to need your Whisper White note cards and envelopes. So I'll just pull out a note card for now. And we're going to be using the Confetti embossing folder because it has this great blank oval in the middle that's the perfect size for stamping your mice on. Now, this embossing folder is sized more for our regular size cards, so we have to do a little trick so that we don't get embossing on the back of our card. So the way I do that is I slip my note card into the embossing folder, and earlier to center it I added some little Sharpie marks, some dots on either corner, and then I also added a little line right here so I know where my score line is. And I'm going to make sure that I line everything up according to that. So the first time you do one of these, you're going to spend a little time and make sure that your card is exactly centered. So take a ruler, measure up the side to the score line, and then the top and the bottom, and make sure it's centered, and put little dots here. You can see I put a little dot here on this corner, a little dot on this bottom corner, and then you're also going to need a line here to mark where your score line is. So once you've got that all lined up and the oval is centered on the front of your card, you're going to put it on the cutting plate like this. And then you're going to take your second cutting plate, and mine bows a little bit. I'm going to place my cutting plate so that it bends downwards into the Big Shot. So let me just slide this out a little bit, and I'm going to slide this down into my Big Shot because I'm going to line up the edge of my embossing folder with that line I told you about. Now, you're just going to make sure everything is even and can go in easily, because this embossing folder is exactly the width of your Big Shot. So you have to make sure it's going in straight, otherwise it won't feed through properly. So the edge of my cutting plate is right up against that Sharpie line that I had for myself. Everything is lined up, and now I'm going to run this through. Let's see how good it looks. So my cutting plate popped off. And then here's my card base, and you can see I'm embossed right up until that score line, but not beyond it, and my oval is centered. So this card we're going to stamp with the mouse on the vertical, so just place this down. I'm going to leave it open right now because it will be easier to stamp on. And then we're going to need our Memento Tuxedo black ink pad. And we're going to need this mouse, and because this is a big stamp, I'm going to keep the mouse laying down, and I'm going to tap my ink pad over top of it, making sure I've got good ink coverage. And when I think it looks good, I'm going to stamp it near the top of the oval because we need a little bit of room for our greeting. So let me look, that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to take this little greeting, and there are 3 greetings and 3 mice in the stamp set. For this particular mouse, this is a shorter greeting that fits nicely under this mouse. So we're going to use Wishing You a Festive Season. And let me just ink that up. Make sure it's the correct way around. And then I'm going to stamp it right underneath the feet of that mouse. We're going to color this mouse using a blender pen and ink pads. So I've got the first ink pad here, and this is Crumb Cake, and I'm just going to squeeze the lid a little bit, and that's going to create a pool of ink to work off of on my lid. And I'm just going to uncap my blender pen here, And let's work on the feet first. A blender pen has kind of a clear fluid in it, so you can pick up ink and move it onto your cardstock. And then also we'll need to do the face. And so I'm going to start on the side and work my way around and add a little ink when you notice it's running out of color. Start around the outside, and then I'm going to work my way in to the inside. I'm keeping the center of the face a little bit lighter than the outside. And then I'm going to do just the edge of the ears. Like that. Then when you're done with that particular color, just scribble it on some scrap piece of paper until the ink runs clear again. Next, we're going to use Blushing Bride, and I'm going to again squeeze that and open it up. And we've got a little pool of Blushing Bride ink. Let's hit the little nose in the center first, and then let's do the inside of the ears like that. Then again, scribble on your scrap paper until your ink runs clear. Next, we're going to use Wild Wasabi ink, and again, just squeeze on the ink pad. That's a nice green pool here. And for this one, we're going to color the sweater. So I'm going to just come and start on the sleeve and work my way around, hitting over top of this little songbook. Let's do the other sleeve. Like that. Then I'm going to come down here below the songbook and fill in the rest of his sweater. This nice blender pens allow you to blend just a little bit. And you can go back and you can add a little bit more ink if you want to and shade different areas. So let's just do the hat a little bit. I'm going to do some of the stripes of his little hat. Like that. Next, we're going to use Dapper Denim, and this is a new color that we have this year. It's a great color for doing any kind of blue jeans, and this little guy is going to wear, I guess, some blue pants or blue jeans. And I'm just going to come in and keep blending the colors, starting on the bottom with darker, and then I'm working up top where it might be a little bit lighter, where it's catching some of the light. And that looks pretty good. And then I can just scribble this until it runs clear. This is my Real Red ink pad. It's the last color we're going to be using. And it's probably the most intense, so you just need a little tiny bit. So I'm going to come in and do the little pom-pom, and then I'm going to do the scarf. And this is going to make just an awesome little note card set, which will be a great gift idea. Once I show you how to make that little note card holder on Wednesday. Okay, so I'm just going to keep scribbling this until the red runs clear and we're all done the coloring. So now you just need to fold the note card along the score line, and I'm going to actually flip it to the back to smooth along the back because it's flatter and easier to run my bone folder along. And there's the first note card. For the other cards, I'm not going to show you from start to finish how to make them, but these ones are just as easy to do. You're just going to turn your cardstock around and use them on the horizontal. You can use my images that I'll post on my blog if you want color ideas of how to color them. And then what I suggest doing in preparation to make our little note card holders. I also want you to stamp on the envelopes that come with the Whisper White note cards. And I just basically stamped on the corner like that for this one. This little one, I just put the 3 mice down here. And this one was a little wide, so I actually cut off the little ornament right here so there'd be enough room to stamp the address. But this is going to look really cute in the note card holder if you do some stamping on the envelopes as well. And then don't forget to check back on Wednesday for the note card holder. All the supplies you'll need to make these sweet note cards are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now. If you like this tutorial, be sure to check out all the free with purchase tutorials available on my blog. The Rolo's Pumpkin Wreath and Ornament tutorial is just one of the exclusive tutorials that you can choose free with a minimum purchase in my Stampin' Up! Store.